Good morning. It's Boundy here. As you can tell from that, there's my name in my website. Boundy Psychic Medium. I also have that one too, as in buy me a coffee. I'm already having my coffee. There we go. My dory cut with go with it. Oh, there you go. Go with the flow. That was something my children gifted me many years ago. I love drinking from it. So what's important first thing in the morning? Not having the shower or anything. I didn't sleep in this top. I certainly have just popped it on before I came on this show. I brushed my hair. I put the top on. I've turned my Healy on and I've made my coffee and nearly finished drinking it. And it's in time to get organised, sort of, with the cards to do a Daily Lenormand card spread. And now I'll switch over to the cards. I was also sorting a little bit what the trolls had continued on with last night. It's not something that is just a issue, and I'm just going to shift that around a little bit because I don't want to see my lap. And oops, it's just a little bit. Hold on. This is the technology and how well it works for me, not. I'm just trying to get it where it doesn't look like it's at an angle. There we go. There. I think that's probably a bit better. Yeah, it is. So I'll just put myself back up there. There we go. Yes. There we go. Now, the car. Oh, good morning to Marie. How are you this morning? How's everyone this morning? Because I did have a lovely sleep. Woke up, well, it was bright and early, and then went back for a little bit more snooze. And good morning to you, Tracy. Veronica, I am well this morning. A little bit bubblier than I was last night at the end of the evening. And good morning, Karina. We've got Tarina. Good morning to you too. Oh, I love that bonnet. That hat looks so nice and warm. Good morning, Rosie. Love that little easy too. That was rather cute. Anyway, we're going to get into the reading in a sec. Certainly last night's activity with the Friday's Intuitive Chat and the card readings was very interesting with the amount of, trolling. I call it trolls. And Simone, are you on the chat in my Facebook? You're not. So, good morning, Simone. The people who are watching this from my profile page, it's looking like with the Be Live, it'll only pick up 2 streams, not 4. I'm using an app that's in beta. It's not picking up the comments from the profile. So rather than bore you with that, if you want to have your comments up on screen to see them in their glory, certainly come across to the mytimetv.live page or maybe the Boundy page. I'm not 100% sure. I'm just going to type that in there, whether it does work. I don't know whether it does or not in the profile page. Yeah, that one. So here's my page there, and I'll just put it, and I'm just trying to make it so it doesn't pick up another tag. There you go. I've put that in there, so I'm just going to leave that way. Yep, all looks pretty good. I dare say it is actually showing up on my page. I wonder if they're actually picking up too. Just waiting for that to do. It's nutting out a few of the little, the foibles of different spaces and places that Facebook allows none. It's not picking up what is on the, I don't think so, on my page, because Karina, has your comment come in? Yes, yours did. So it's picking up the page, just not that is on the profile. So the 2 pages. So obviously a private profile, it won't pick up the comments because of privacy issues or something, I would think. So I won't add the, I think I won't add the profile in the next live stream. You just got to go to the pages. So do the @Boundy as a page, or the at mytimetv.live in the morning, or put the notifications on either of those two pages to get the the warning that I'm coming up and coming live in these morning transmissions in these morning live streams. I had a very dear friend who used to call them transmissions it was many years ago, and he has since passed. He had stroke. Anyway, here we go. So, Trina, you're saying it is definitely warm. You'd get a few smiles when you're walking on the beach with the furry ears. I bet you. It looks so cute and warm. And it is cold outside this morning. But we're here instead of the chit-chat. Thank you for being patient while I do try out these little tweaks occasionally. So, it's really good to have that help. It's something you can't do always by yourself and need that feedback instantly. So thank you for that. Now, the cards I chose to use this morning are the Bluebird Lenormand deck. So that's this one. I've taken the whole set of cards out. It is certainly the 36 that are in a traditional Lenormand deck. So, and it is cold there in New Plymouth. So you're in New Zealand too. Yeah. Well, you get it before us too, don't you? More from the Pacific. I suppose it's more from the Pacific. So that's the back of this pack. And it's Mademoiselle Lenormand, who is the creator of the Lenormand deck. She is the one first recognised as being. Oh, this is saying it's expanded. Hang on, let me read that. Expanded 38 deck instructions. Okay. I'm not even sure. I didn't realise that there was 2 more in that. I do know it's made by the US card systems, as you read down there. So there's quite a few of these types of decks that are printed. Oh, there it is up the top. So that's and it might give you a website. I just got them from the local Booktopia, and that's where that comes from. So as with any type of deck, you should expect that there is going to be a guidebook. And this one's written by Stuart Kaplan. And it comes up with little things, you've got the guidance in there of each of the cards, some explanation that apparently is the portrait, a portrait of Mademoiselle Lenormand. I don't know French, so I've got no idea how it's pronounced. I do know it's Mademoiselle. So there's that, and it was initially created as a parlour game. So it was a card game. And there's a bit of, I've actually got a bit of biography in this one. So it's probably where I got some of what was my knowledge of what the Lenormand card deck started as. It probably was actually that I'd read that. Oh, some interesting little pictures here. There's even a photo of a tomb and her mausoleum. Oh my goodness. But and it goes into some nice explanations, and there's the Bluebird cards that are after the Lenormand deck style. Don't know that it's actually, and here we go, there's the explanation of each card. Now, I probably may have read through this once, and I don't particularly care for other explanations. It gives a good basis, but then it's needing to actually tap into and go with what is the intuitive senses you yourself are bringing into it. Now, for this morning's, I'm just going to do a 4-card spread. So the way that I do it is knocking them, and dropping them. So I'm going for a dive. There we go. I'm back again. And sat on my cushion, because I have a cushion at my back. Here we go. And already there's a person there doing silly things. I'm just going to do that. Just have a look at that, because it really did begin to irritate me when I was getting these silly, and of course I don't have it here on the My Time page. Someone is obviously trolling again. I hope they find it entertaining. I don't think they actually do sit there typing in those messages. I think honestly what they're doing, it's a bot. So it's just something that they'll create a little bot that does this pickup automatically, and I go in at the back page of my time itself to actually ban those readers fully, those posts fully, purely because as an admin I can do it more thoroughly, and hopefully you don't get them there. Okay, now here we go. 4 cards, and I haven't set the camera up where I'm looking straight at you this time. I probably should, but I haven't got my iPad here to do that properly. I wonder if it's possible. Hang on. Let me just see. I'll see what I can do. You know me, and trying out new ways of doing some stuff. There. Am I looking at you? Yeah, there you go. So here we go. I've got Anchor, Birch Rod. So it's just a slightly different name in this one. Moon, and we've got Mountain. Now, I think, yeah, they are just slightly off the centre, and that's having to do it like that. So, and I'm going to get myself the little pointer. They're hard to read, aren't they? They're not quite at the level I want them. And now you've got an arm and a sleeve right in the way as I drop the height and drop. Oh, I'm glad you like going for the ride with me. You're getting all sorts, because I've got this balanced at a different space and place here. I've got to put that way. Let's see how that works. Oh, gee, you're definitely going for a ride. That shouldn't. I'm hoping that shouldn't go for a slip again. Is that better? Close enough, isn't it? So I'm just looking at the day. So we're going to have these energies in the day, and my little letter opener pointer isn't going to be too much point, because, as you can see, they're fairly hard to read when they're that distance. I like this set because it comes with the little verse, and it brings a little bit more insight into what the card itself means. And because this isn't working for me, because I'm looking there still anyway, and having to look at, now, going back, let's take you for a ride again. Going back, there we go. Am I right? That didn't work for me. So, and you don't need me boobs, so sit it back at the right angle. There we go. It's a weekend. Glad to be a little bit sillier with it. Now, let me see. Here we go. Let me get organised again. And here we go. Yeah, that's better. That's better. And I'll just pop that up a little bit further. Okay, now let's get back to it. And Marie, you're saying you keep us entertained. Thank you. It's not so much about it. Hey, this is just me. And hi, Shaz. How are you? Good morning, Keza. Wonderful to see you back again too. And just want it down a little bit more. Yeah, that'll be perfect. So with this one, I'm just going to read them like the 3 and then the 1. Feels like almost a past, present, future-ish type reading. It's just how the cards wanted me to lay them down. So with the anchor, what we've got is the energy of the anchor's a sign of a stable event. Oh, God, I'm going to have to read it like that. Unfortunately, this camera still does not like to keep it focused. Anyone, if you know of a webcam that actually keeps focus for the right full time, it'd be wonderful to know. The anchor's a sign of a stable event. Bask in sunshine. Because I like reciting poetry. It's lovely. And this isn't giving me the chance, because I'm reading it from the screen as I'm reading it to you, as I'm showing it to you. And it's not staying in focus. So the anchor's a sign of a stable event, bask in sunshine, secure and content. When the anchor's some distance away from you, hope will fade and leave life askew. So that distance is also relevant to the actual grand tableau spread. So when you're actually seeing that type of reference to distance, it's there is a way of knowing which card is the significator in a grand tableau, and that's where all 36 cards are laid out. And you choose either the man or the woman, depending on who's asking the question or wanting the reading, as to what distance away this card would sit in that reading. So even when you're looking at that as a rhyme, the further away an anchor is, when you are even feeding it out from a boat, it's not quite as secure as if you are sitting almost right over top of an anchor and having that absolute security almost, over top. You've got better control of how that anchor is sitting in that firm base of the ocean floor or sea floor or river floor or wherever you've got it anchored. Even if you've got it tied up to a tree on the shore, the closer you are, the better control you have over how that anchor sits and what you're doing with it, so holding still. So that's what that's referring to, is being able to create that anchor. And my explanation of it or interpretation would be, in this instance, that it's referring to a bit more the security aspect and being able to control what is in your control, with a lot more finesse being closer. We've got it fairly close there. I'm just trying to adjust that camera a little bit. So the next one is the Birch Rod. And of course, with all of the Lenormand cards, there is a reference to using the playing cards. They don't have to be the pretty ones. The regular playing cards can be used as a Lenormand deck if you know what the connection is, the one that's relevant for it. Now, the Birch Rod, in the usual Gilded Breviary that I use, it's just called Birch Broom. And it does certainly look like a broom even in this picture. And I think the reference there of what is almost looks like a young boy, doesn't it? So the Birch Rod brings strife to what should be bliss. To husband and wife all has gone amiss. Prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, begotten of quarrels that bring much dismay. So an interesting little verse. It's actually a strife type card. Almost there's some issues happening and some problems coming into the day. So what I'm feeling from that, as far as just the energy goes, the fact it looks like a broom, and in other cards it's called the Birch Broom, it would reflect to me really that it's sweep stuff away, clean the energy, clean the house almost. It's like, and in that reference, husband and wife, trouble between husband and wife. And I'm not sure why it's got that picture as the depiction. So whether it's the Jack of Clubs that's referencing, because it's a younger male. Well, I'm assuming it's a male. You guys let me know. What do you think? Let me get it focused. Would that be a young male, like a page, or a female? But it's certainly a younger person, and it's in that club form. So I'm assuming I'll have to actually, let's have a look while I can. Whether I can find the Birch Broom very quickly with this deck. Let me see. If you have a look, see, there's the anchor up there. Let me see if I can get the same ones. What else have we got? The moon. And good way to compare, isn't it? And mountain. I might not find all of them. Who knows? Well, there's the mountain. Let's see what we come up with. Just a good way to spend a bit of a Saturday morning, isn't it? Oh, excuse me. I have the hiccups. And there's the moon. And what's the other one? 1, 2, 3. The Birch Broom. And guess what? It was the second one from the top. If I'd have gone the other way, it would have been different. Yes, it is. There we've got the Jack of Clubs. So I guessed right. So there we have those references. Oh, don't they look nice, having that comparison? But we are looking at the bluebird ones because that's the ones I chose to use for this morning. And I will put a photo of them up there a little later. I don't really need that, do I, this time? So because we're holding them up. Oh, did I move the camera or something? We've got the focus is these four, of course. So here we have that. So that strife to me is looking at actually moving on, like this one. There's the Birch Broom, very similar. So their depiction, they do have the similarities of what is in the interpretations from one artist to the next and how they're creating them. So with that, it really does feel like giving it a clean sweep and actually and I feel, instead of strife, look at it in the positive. Yes, there might be the possibilities of it. There is always going to be that balance in our lives that's giving us what is perceived negatives so that we can find that perceived positive. For me, it's just all experiences are within our lives for that learning experience, to actually grow and extend ourselves as our own knowing and how we actually interact with other people in relationships. So with that, if it's referring to the strife between a husband and wife, well, it is that potential of, and I'll just hold it up once more, so that focuses, prepare for sorrows that dampen the day, but we do not have to react on the sorrows in negative ways that we just keep going down a hole of depression or anything. Yes, there could be quarrels and there could be discussions that need to be talked about. It's talking about even having, quarrels are a discussion, but in that perceived negative sense. Bring it forward so that what you're actually talking about together is bringing forward the positives and other options. That's not just what is bringing our energies down and not getting to the crux of the matter as such. So we're moving then into the slumbering moon when it rises near, means that great honours are bound to appear. Intuition and perception soar in the night. Emotions wax and wane in the moon's light. So it's bringing forward that is our feelings, our emotions, and our beingness, especially the fact it brings up that night, what sort of a night, how important sleeping is, and even that we do get some messages, from our guidance, whether we call it spirit, whether we call it our angels, whether it's just that gut feeling and our intuition. It's all relevant. So take note of it. And as we can see, it does mention that it's intuition, and I'm trying to get it to focus again. Focus. Intuition and perception soar in the night. So take notice of it, but also practice that throughout your daytime hours. The moon is but a reflection of the sunshine. It's that light that shines back at us from wherever the sun sits in relation to the moon. Remember, we had a full eclipse very recently, where it's complete opposites of each side of our Earth. It's similar. It's the nighttime energies of what is that from the sun. So bring it into your life. And as you're really anchoring into your day to day, bring into it that cleansing and communication with others, the interaction in relationship, and going by what that intuition is telling you around the best way to actually do that, to deal with that communication, not to get in the sad sack mode and depression and the rest, but to actually see it, feel it for what it honestly is in discussion, as something that is a learning curve for you, rather than something that's just put you in a deep hole that you think, I can't get out of this. We always can. It just takes different times for different people too. But here we go. Oh, and I forgot to show. There's the mountain. Going straight for the jugular on the verse. Let's have a look at what the verse says. Confront the mountain as you would a fierce foe. To avoid your defeat, strike hard the first blow. This clear obstacle is a chance to succeed. Courage and persistence are all that you will need. So it's talking about the mountain being that obstacle. And we can make mountains out of molehills. Get to whatever your issue is that's coming up in your day with relationships, or even things that need to be done that look like they're just too flaming hard and you bugger it, not doing it now type of thing. Keep at it, keep persisting, work away at whatever you're needing to do. Start small. just take the little chipping hammer at it and work away at it. No, it just comes to mind, some of those movies where you've got prisoners breaking out of their prison cells with a tiny little tool that keeps doing it, and they create a tunnel or an escape route, or Shawshank Redemption is the one that comes to my mind as I'm thinking of this. It's just that persistence and how you just keep working away at it. And even sometimes in our relationships, we're needing to actually just keep working away at the conversations in constructive ways so that we're learning each step of the way as we're moving through those conversations or the relationships and interactions that we can have with others. Because we are in relationship because we are human. We understand through our language and our actions, our body language, and all the rest that we're doing in our lives with each other, because we are who we are, and we're learning all the time from that interaction. So keep your awareness and intuition tuned into it. Have that readiness to actually jump in with what you feel from your gut feeling is the right way of doing it. And there is no wrong way. There is no wrong. It might feel like it's wrong to the other person, but you're living in your physical body with your soul, with your who you are, being who you are. Be true to that for yourself, but understanding that that other person that you might be speaking to is also from their own space and place of understanding. And that's where we need to understand and really listen to each other. I'm changing it around now. Listen to each other and even perceive with the body language how they might be feeling. And it's not to give into each other all the time. It's just to be who you are and interact together from that authentic space and place that is you. Yeah. So hoping you're understanding that. And I love using the cards to help in that guidance. And it does bring forward some things that are very relevant and specific for your day-to-day. You'll find it could be popping up that, oh, jingies, there's that discussion I need to have. Even if it is in the form of an argument, allow it to grow into what is more in-depth communication to understand each other better, not just to argue. There's times where we need our boundaries and times where we need to just sit, be, listen. You'll understand that when you continue to be aware of what your body, gut reaction, intuition is telling you, whatever words you need to understand that. So I'm going to leave it there. It's nearly half an hour. Not normal that I would go for half an hour on the morning daily card spread, but that's how long it's gone. Thank you for being here, for watching and listening. Certainly contribute as you need to. Maybe I've frozen again. I'd say that's probably the gist of what that's telling me, and I'll leave it there. Thank you and namaste. Hopefully that's got it. Oh, I've just got to, I don't think, thank you, Karina. I don't think Shaz realises that I am still live. Thank you, Keza. And I'll put yours up, Veronica. Thank you. Lovely reading this morning. Thank you. I love being here and sharing this time and space, so thank you. Namaste.